Hi and welcome to our technical drawing tutorial. If you have any concerns or questions about this video, you could send me your concerns, questions, suggestions via email at autocadalive@gmail.com. In this tutorial, we're going to be constructing a triangle given the altitude, base, and base angle. In the example, we're asked to construct triangle ABC whose altitude is 55 millimeters, the base BC is 90 millimeters, and the base angle ABC 90 degrees. We're going to continue by using our conveniently long construction line labeled XY, on which the base BC 90 millimeters is going to be found. Our compass radius is going to be equal to the length of our line BC, or line segment rather, BC, the base of our triangle. I'm going to place my compass point conveniently on my line segment and inscribe an arc which will be labeled B, ensuring again that I have the same radius. I'm going to place my compass point at point B to establish our base BC. We proceed from here by constructing the altitude or our 90-degree angle at point B. I'm going to establish our radius and then construct the altitude. So the radius for my circle will be equal to the altitude. The altitude is 55 millimeters. And just for argument's sake, I will just place an arc anywhere on or between my line segments XB and CY. Those will be the centers for my arcs, which will be used to establish the altitude of our triangle. And for accuracy's sake, we could throw in a third arc. We could use the same radius or any radius, or just out of random, just use any spot. The whole point is to find another center conveniently located on the line from which we will draw our third arc, which will help increase our accuracy with our tangent or our parallel line. Our next step would be to place our set square, and one conveniently long enough. Apologies for the broken edge. These things happen, right? Broken edge of a set square. We're going to slide our set square up to the top of our arcs, and we do so, we pull it up all the way up until the top of the arc appear to be like a dash, a short dash. You can't see it on the video because I'm using construction lines, but when you do so with your drawing sheet in your own practice, you will notice exactly what I'm talking about. And you draw your construction line touching the top of those, or intersecting with, meeting with the top of those two arcs that appeared as dashes. So here we have our parallel line, which will establish the altitude of our triangle, and we can label that parallel line W and V. Our two lines have been drawn. We move on with establishing our base angle. We have our base, we have our altitude. Our altitude 55 millimeters, and that is the distance between our line WX and WV and XY. We have our base BC 90 millimeters. That's our line segment found on our line XY BC. And we're now going to construct our 90-degree angle at point B. Those of you who may have mastered that already from our previous videos, you could continue on. But this here is rather easy. I'm only going to erase the unnecessary construction lines to keep our drawing nice, neat, and with very little confusing lines all over the place. So using point B as my center, point B because this is where the angle is going to be constructed, and a conveniently small radius of my choice, I'm going to inscribe an arc. This major arc intersects my line segment BC at point 1. We move from point 1 with the same radius to establish point 2 and point 3. And to speed up the process, the arc from point 3 will be a major arc. And we're going to move to point 3 with the same radius as used at point 2 to intersect that arc to give us point 4. Complete our construction of our 90-degree angle at point B with a construction line. It's going to pass through point 4 and end at point B, as you can clearly see. Now again, I was erasing our construction, working to avoid unnecessary points of intersection, and this is one right here. Please ignore that point in your work so you don't get confused. Here's the reason why. As much as possible, to try to limit the intersecting construction lines that may be confusing. And we label our 90-degree angle. Let's use U. So UBC is our 90-degree angle. Our line UB intersects our altitude line WV, or our parallel line WV, at point A. With point A identified, we then join point A to point C with another construction line. It is best to use construction lines all the way so that errors can be erased neatly, keeping your drawing nice and neat. And after you've completed your construction work, your next step would be to darken the sides of your triangle so that your object line will allow your triangle to stand out in your drawing. Darken our line AB. Our line segment BC darkened. And we darken our line segment AC. Here we have it. The construction of a triangle ABC given the altitude, base, and base angle. Thank you for viewing.